Good morning. This is not the usual time I come on, but I'm coming on this morning because I want to make sure I have a voice because I have some work. I'm going to work from home today, even though Thursday isn't my usual day to go to work. I'm going to kind of have to make up for, not being able to work Monday and Wednesday. So today I'm trying out my voice, trying to see how I can keep it at an even level and not crack. Um, and uh, and I wanted to color a little bit this morning before I start doing some work. It's like I have some meetings like interspersed through the day that I'm gonna have to talk for. So um, yeah, I wanted to come on and try my voice out. And yeah, my brain, I'm still loopy. But hey, gonna do what I can do. Um, I just realized I need to turn my phone on because I have a doctor's appointment they're trying to reschedule, and I hate having my phone on. I really do, but I gotta do it so I don't miss their message. Oh, yeah, something interesting that happened. Kind of could be a little annoyance, coloring wise. I actually do have an unboxing. Let me do that. Um, this is the Anamorphia book I got from Thrift Books, and I didn't realize it was this because I wasn't really paying attention, obviously, because the description says selections from Kirby's best-selling Anamorphia, so it's not really the Anamorphia book, for better or worse, but they are one-sided page images. Of course, now they're smaller, and I don't know if you've been around me for a bit, you know how I've talked about tiny coloring, how it annoys me, but obviously I'm getting used to it, used to coloring small. So yeah, so we'll see what happens. Um, I do have the Karen Dash books, which are or Karen Dash pencils, which are smaller diameter, which might be good for working in here. And also, I can do some work with gel pens and acrylic pens. So this is going to be another book where I try out different mediums and see how they work for me. Um, Although I'm getting annoyed just looking at this picture and how small it is, but who knows? It seems like it's a nice size book to travel with, and I happen to have a book that I also got from Thrift Books that I guess is something that's really popular, that was really popular among colorists, and it is a small book. Um, it's it's smaller than this a little bit, and it's like about like that size. And I put it away in my coloring book stash just because I was like, I ain't messing with that. Um, but now again, since I've been working in the mythographic books, and I've been feeling myself get a little more acclimated to the Kirby books, there's a good chance that I'm gonna pull that book out and start working in it at some point. Because my coloring skills have, I guess, improved. So this has where like you draw things in there, which is really not a bad practice. So I feel like I'm kind of moving in that direction to be able to do this kind of thing comfortably. So I love this fish page in the original one as well as here. But anyway, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, Kind of annoyed, but that's okay. I'll get over it. I know I have more than I thought I got this in another one, and I didn't. But yeah, something I did for better or worse. I don't know what's going on lately, um, entirely like with my life. Well, I do know what's going on, but yeah, there's a lot going on lately, and that's actually positive, but it's goes back to what I was saying, like maybe a couple months ago, where I kept hearing the Lord saying the landscape is changing, and there's positives and negatives to that on every level of life, from like society, the world, and then me and the world in me. Um, the world in me, there's a lot of positive that's going on, and the world, my immediate thing. But the growing pains and the transition is intense. Um, so if you're a praying person and you feel like praying for me, that would be something to pray for me about. Because I just want to make sure my eyes are always on the Lord. And I guess, I mean, I am transparent anyway, but I think I'm telling more of myself now than I ever have directly, immediately in a live. But yeah, so I'm in this place where I'm um, pulling in even closer to the Lord so that I don't miss anything He says, because I know another word that I had at the beginning of the year. I asked Lord, what do what's the thing that guides my year this year? And he said, that scripture came to me. Just the line came to me: "The just shall live by faith." That was it. And so that's been what's been guiding every single day of my life this year. That's been the constant in my head. It's easy scripture to remember, but I think it's Habakkuk. It's in Habakkuk somewhere. Um, but yeah, that's that, and it's also in the New Testament. They quote it somewhere in Corinthians or something like that. But anyway, so that's where I'm at. And at the close of this year, it's like it's been intense since September, increasingly, and it's one of those things where I know the enemy knows what's going on, but they don't know. He doesn't know precisely what's going on, because he can't read the Lord's mind, right? And so because of that, I feel almost like I'm in a spy movie. Okay, I'm really telling all my business now, telling them my inner self, telling them really how I live my life. But um, it's like I'm in a spy movie, and the Lord purposely is not saying certain things outright, or having me speak certain things, or even write certain things outright, because it's top secret. He wants to keep it that way. And so there's some things He's not even letting me know exactly of how to move or whatever until the moment comes. Um, and to do that, to move that way, um, I have to stay in tune with Him. Um, and you see from how I am, even how I talk in my lives, I'm not like this. I'm not a religious person, like with this kind of facade. Oh, I'm holy, whatever. No, I'm just real. I'm real. But I've been a Christian since I was 15 years old, and I've been, I guess you could say, intense with it since was 15 years old. It's something that's very real to me. God is very real to me. He's like a person. He's been my mother, my father, my best friend, my everything. I mean, I he is a person to me. He's a person. He's an entity. He's a person. He's a being. But like, he is very real to me, and I have walked that way since I was 15 years old. And there's very practical things that He's brought me through. I mean, it's like an understatement. Since I was 15 years old. Um. So anyway, another thing, like, was it like a year ago, 2 years, a year before my best friend passed. Within that year, something that had been really strong on my heart and spirit and mind was in Ezekiel, that creature in the first chapter of Ezekiel. That like I think if we were to actually see it, we'd be scared of our out of our wits. Um, but the creature, it's a heavenly creature. It's like a creature that can be in the presence of God, and it moves. The creature moves like just at the thought, the very thought that God has. It moves, and it does anything that God says just at God's very thought of this is what needs to be. And I saw that and I says, God, I says, that's how I want to move. That's how I want to be. I want to move like that creature in Ezekiel. That the moment you think something that I should do or be or whatever, I'm on it. I'm in it. I'm doing it. I don't want there to be any time between what you say your will is and what I do. And that's kind of like a um, tall order. We're gonna just got a pop up notification. What was that? Probably something trying to sell me something. Oh no. Okay, I see. Message from Instagram. Okay, but yeah, I said that's how I wanted to be. And I actually shared this with my friend the last time I saw him. I think I shared it with him. Because he was like kind of wondering what was going on with me, and so I shared that. But um, I said to God, I says, I know that seems impossible. I mean, to me in my head, that seems impossible that a human being could ever be like that, and in particular that I could ever be that way. But that's what I want. You know, they say you have not because you ask not, or you have not because you ask amiss. So I thought, well, I'm gonna ask. I've always been kind of like that. I'm gonna ask. I don't care. He can say no. He can say no, and if he says no, I know it's good for me that he said no. I don't care. Um, that has been, like of course, like you know, the he's dealing with a bumbling human being who says that. So of course, the process to getting there is slow. The change in me, of course, is going to be slow because I'm human, but I do feel it happening. And it's interesting. Since I asked that, that was like what 3 years ago, almost. Anyway, um, yeah, so things are really intense right now. And even, well, I don't know, the past year with braces, the incident of me even getting braces, how that happened, that actually was the Lord. And I've talked about that story before, the consultation that I was trying to get that was kind of like just floating around in my head, la da 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 da. Then suddenly I have this whole thing happen where um, I'm walking around with an infected tooth, and I wound up walking around with that infected tooth for like 4 or 5 months before I could get anything taken care of with it. Not that I wasn't on it, but it took 3 months for people to find out. 3 or 4 months for people to find out that it was a problem. Like even after being at the dentist and everything, they didn't see it, which was like really ridiculous. But I wound up finding the right oral surgeon who was right next to the orthodontist, and I happened to go into that orthodontist that I had already asked for a consultation for, like probably 6 months earlier, when I was just kind of la da 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 da. I think I might want to do this, and I never heard anything back from them. Well, I walk right back in their office, and they say, "Come back, like tomorrow at whatever time." It was really bizarre. You could say bizarre. It was the Lord. I was supposed to do that. And He kind of put it in my head before anything of that happened, um, to think about orthodontia work when, like, that, I don't even know where the thought came from. It's like, what the heck? It's like, I'm old. What do I need that for? Well, that's a whole nother, you know, thing with that I found out. But anyway, um, yeah, so I'm kind of wandering, but my brain is kind of wandering because I'm not really totally with it right now. And I got to keep an eye on the time because I think I have my first appointment is at 10. Let me take a look. And I'm going to probably do one of those party on the top kind of, or party on the bottom kind of deals for this meeting because I'm just going to make sure I look good up top and not really do too much else because I'm really still tired, actually, very tired. But I feel better than I did earlier this week. I have more voice than I did earlier this week. Right now, I'm less congested than I was earlier this week, which is good. Um, and I did not. The thing is, and I guess because I got the shot, because I heard that's what they've said that if you get the vaccination, you're less likely to have any of those things that are going to cause you to have to be hospitalized or anything like that. I didn't. It never went to my chest ever. And as a matter of fact, it went less to my chest. It didn't go to my chest, and it went to my throat in a very strange way. Because when I have a cold, I usually don't want to eat certain things, a lot of things. Like it has to be hot. Um, Certain flavors I don't like and whatever. I was eating salad, like cold salad, like wanting it and eating it, which is never anything I want during a cold. But it was what I needed, which was really, so it was really good. I was enjoying eating salad, which is kind of weird for me. So, yeah, so I really had an easy time of it. It's just that the, the feverishness and the fact that my head was full and that I couldn't talk, basically, and lethargy, that kind of thing, which I'm still dealing with, but the Lord will get me through it. So anyway, um, for other things that I bought, I might as well show them. I got these. This is what I saw. Martha Makes Art. Um, Using these, not these particular ones necessarily, but using alcohol ink. And I actually went back to her video. Hey, Deb, thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, and I hope you have a great day. And I enjoyed watching your video with your card making. And I also kind of I was going to mention you because I don't know if this is what you were using, alcohol inks, but when I saw you put the ink on the silicone pad thing and paint with it, that gave me another idea of what to do with these. So yeah, so I saw Martha splatter with them, and okay, that I really, if you see the video, if you see Martha's video, you see where I just kind of whoo, I got all excited when I saw that and saw the results of it. So I'm looking forward to working with these and figuring out what they do. Okay, I was wondering because I was thinking it's they're probably not the same thing, but then I saw you putting them on the thing. I was like, oh, okay, maybe even paint with them. Let's experiment with that. I don't know. Yes, I'm gonna play with these and see what they do, how they do. They were relatively inexpensive. I didn't want to get the Martha was using the Tim Holtz Ranger brand, and I didn't want to go that route because they cost more money. It took a lot more. I couldn't find a set that really had colors I wanted. Um, and also the fact that I want to play around with these. I don't really know their capabilities. So I thought, well, let me get cheap set that has colors that I think I would want to use. So I specifically wanted some metallics, and this has 18 normal colors, 10 metallics. I read reviews that were kind of mixed on them. Some were saying they were dried up and whatever. And sometimes you don't even know if people that are making comments reviews are actually people who sell the same thing, and so they don't want you to buy this person's version of it. They want you to buy theirs. But yeah, this is like a metallic one. I can tell. Looks like, yeah. So I'm gonna play around with these and see, because like I said, I want to bling out my specifically my Jasmine Beckett Griffith books, and so I'm looking for ways to do that simply, um, and I don't know. I'm just looking for ways to do it that I can wrap my head around. Um, yeah, those Ranger ones were expensive, and then all the like they had some that were in set 1 through 4. I saw on Amazon they only had sets 1, 2, and 3, and then they had a separate set that was like gold and something, but they were all kind of expensive, and it's like, well, that's a lot of money for me to spend for something I don't even know how to use it, how it works. um I already did that once with the well, twice actually, 3 times, I don't know, the distressed inks, the distressed oxides, and then the distressed watercolor pencils. And it's like, I ain't doing that again. I've done enough Ranger or whatever Tim Holtz without knowing how they work. I need to figure out how those work. In the meantime, let me get something cheap. So yeah, there's a lot of pretty colors in here. Um, so it'll give me a lot to play with. I feel like I don't know. So we'll see. I may actually play around with them. And I also thought about, because I'm thinking of starting, doing a junk journal or whatever. So for my first one, to play around in it or whatever, I might be using these for that. Um, Playing around in my sketchbook. I'm just going to try and figure them out. And I figured to have an inexpensive set to start with, because I don't know what the heck I'm doing, would be good. So this was actually the second set that I picked out because I wanted to have some metallics. Um, and then this one, and it was interesting to me because I'm learning as I'm watching and trying to figure out what I want to get. And it was saying that, and I watched a video for this one where they actually use it, like people who make like things out of epoxy resin. Those things, like they'll make the clear plastic, making like placeholders for it, whatever you call them. People that do coatings that go on like water bottles and things like that. They use it to color that clear plastic or whatever. So it actually, like, while the epoxy resin is like pliable, I guess they put the inks in there. They drop the inks in there and they make colors and things. And then when it dries, the color stays in there, I guess. So there was a video on Amazon, connected with these, that I watched. And I was like, oh, it's like, well, how? I don't know. So it's like figuring out all these mediums. It's like a big deal. So that's what I'm trying to do. Um, so these don't have any metallics in them. Oh, well, look at that. I guess these are the dropper tops, or what are they? So I don't know when I'm going to play with these. Probably, like, I don't know, maybe the end of December or something. Maybe sooner. I was just kind of looking. Maybe I'll use them on this Kirby page here. But so that's another thing that I have to play with. Because something, well, I don't know. I'm just getting used to these different mediums. Like, I like rich color. I really like rich color. I don't like wimpy color. That's, I guess, I'm spoiled from using oil paints, as stinky as they are. I don't know if that's improved since I last was oil painting, which has been actually, like, I don't know, it's been at least 5 years, probably more like 7. Um, a lot's been changing with oil painting because I know like sourcing paint from places that are um, what do you call it? Trying to be more environmental friendly because paints can be really toxic. And sourcing the stuff for paints, what that goes through labor, that it, um, labor practices for places that source the materials and things is an issue. A lot of artists are, very socially and environmentally conscious people, and they work with materials that are maybe not so um, environmentally friendly or whatever, which is something interesting about the person that I learned how to paint from, and kind of where I upped my drawing game or learned a lot of things about art and literary theory from, incidentally. Um, his medium is oil painting, and he's gotten away from that because of the whole thing of materials and their toxicity and things like that. Um, so and yeah, he works kind of differently now. Um, I don't know. That's all I know how to explain it. He, yeah, he's. I love that man. I really do. I love that man. Love his wife. Love his child. I haven't met his child yet. I wish I could just. I wish they lived closer, and I wish I could just hang out with them because they are just wonderful people. They live downstate now. Um. Anyway. Um. So I mean, I'm just wondering. Um. Yeah, so those are. So I like rich color. I like rich color. So I'm really looking forward to using those Himi gouaches because I feel like the color is more intense in them. And I've always heard that gouache, I don't know, has a quality kind of between acrylic paint and watercolor that can push you more. I don't know. I'm looking forward to working with those because I'm hoping it's gonna give me a little bit of my oil painting fix because I really love the process and the feel of oil painting. I don't love the smell, but I actually had a mask that I can't find now because I was looking for it when I was going to spray that fixative stuff. But I had a mask that I used to paint with when I just couldn't take it anymore or I needed to ventilate more. Because, like, in the wintertime, I would even have the windows open while I was painting because, like, of the smell. You got to keep it ventilated. Um, so, hey, blue skies, good morning. Yeah, I don't understand why it says that because I have coloring and sketching live on my title. And I think if I try to change it now, it's going to kick me out of the live. That's what happened to me one other time. So I'm going to have to like fix it after. I don't know why exactly it does that, but I went into the wrong one. I just didn't feel, I don't know. There's a whole lot of stuff with Restream. So I'll fix it. Yeah. But thank you though, because like who knows? I could be on here thinking it's Sunday. But I think I got my mind right for the days of the week today. Today and tomorrow I do because I got appointments. After that, I can't promise you. Oh, so let's see. Oh, and I did also receive um, Martha's book. I got it yesterday when I got this other stuff. So I got another bold and easy coloring book. Yay! I'm excited. If you want to see a flip through, Martha Makes Art did a flip through yesterday. It's her book, and she did a flip through, and Deb did a flip through the other day on it. So, um, and I look at this book and I'm looking. You know what? I want to watch more how Martha colors what Martha does with bold and easy coloring is just amazing to watch her. How she goes in and she does it, without any, without thinking hard about it. What she does, I just watch her color. And it's like, oh, I love watching her color. She like brings this. I don't know. Yeah. Oh no, she colored the hippie one. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to look at that, and then maybe I'll color that one then. Um, I'm gonna give them names. They need names. I'm gonna give them names and put them names on the page. Oh, okay. One after my own heart. Oh no. Oh, I thought that was a cookie. You see what's on my mind. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go watch that. I'm gonna have to watch her color the hippie one. Maybe I'll color with her. So now I think I'm gonna do just a little bit of coloring. I did a whole lot of yapping, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is with this page, but I've been working on it. I was working on it last night, and mm, seems like it's coming together. Um, I put blue on, and I think it's my favorite Prismacolor powder blue. Yeah, I have more of these because I love this so much. Um, because I kind of wanted to push the white to have some, you know, values in it. And so it looks really blue there. But we'll see what happens later. I kind of don't mind the blue. Blue and brown, I think, go nice together anyway, so I may leave it that way. It is a coloring book. It doesn't have to all be like real realistic. Um, but yeah, I just have been working on this, and like I don't know, and like I said, I feel like I'm almost working like I'm painting when I color this. Um, and it's wild. I like I said, I don't understand where it's. If I show you my first Kirby page I colored, and I swear I'm gonna go through and show them and see, and actually go through and look at them myself to see what changed. Something changed for me. It's like somebody flipped a switch or something. But I yeah, I don't know. I can't explain it. Because I used to really, um, I looked at Kirby books and I was like, huh, where do I begin? But I don't know. I think something in my head has become more focused now when I look at these, and I've started just segmenting things in my head when I look at it, so that it helps me to color it better and just focus on that one thing and just do it. Um, that seems to be in part to me how I see Bubble Studio color. Although like her approach still is different, but she does really focus on one thing and just keeps working it. I am not as intense as her. I'm not as good as her as being able to really like look at it and really think about the values and things and the way she does it and the way she picks her colors very thoughtfully. I'm still like, kind of random with that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm using the Evazar London pencils in here, which I don't think I've ever used in a Kirby book before. And I'm kind of finding them. I'm kind of liking how they work in here. They work differently than Prismacolors in here, but they also seem to do something similar in that it allows me to blend. But it's a more of a waxy blend than than um, than an oily blend, if that makes any sense. And if you can see, me, I like shiny. That just, without trying to make it that way, it's shiny, and I like shiny. So there's that too. Um, so yeah, so I'm learning some things, and I'm learning what these pencils are good for, which I guess is good for as long as the pencils last, because like I'm probably not going to buy another set of them. So um, again with the bull, I was trying to do kind of what wanted the idea in my head for the Minotaur page, which is where's the Minotaur? This one, I want it to be where there's blue, kind of where it's blue black. Um, and so I went in with the Distress watercolors pencils with the blue. And so I'm trying to pull out the black, but then by putting in black pencil, but then I'm having that problem that I was saying sometimes happens with black, that it depends on the pigment they use to make that black, um, as to how then it's going to react to whatever other pigment from anything else is on there. And I don't know if that, I hope that sentence makes sense. I don't think I can try and say it again. Too much for my brain right now. I'm still working on my first cup of coffee. Um, yeah, so sometimes you can put a black on top of a pigment and it'll wind up looking green, have a greenish tint. Sometimes it'll have a reddish tint, like even if you look on the bird here, the ostrich. I actually like how this turned out, but I had like a light brown underneath it. Um, I can't remember which brown. I think it might have been this one, the pecan. And I put the black from the same set on top of there. And look how there's like this, it's almost like pinkish. So that's what I mean by like how the black can be unpredictable if you don't have an idea of what makes up that black. Um, because when I would oil paint, like I said, the professor I had, he never, like, we could not use black out of a tube at all. We always had to mix our own black because there is an undertone that each black will bring out. And so you want to use the black that's going to work with your whole um, composition, whether you want it to be a warm black, a cold black, etc., etc. So, yeah. I suppose what I could do when I do that is swatch it, but that's too much like right. I kind of like the surprise. Even if the surprise turns out awful, it's like I kind of like the surprise. And I like the fact that I learned, oh, if I put this one and this one together, it's that. Um, if I put this black from this set with this thing that's on the top underneath color, this is what's going to happen. But I used, for this, I used their black, which is where it's called Onyx. See it. I used the black, and then in some spots initially, what I did was I put down this blue in a place where I thought, I'm trying to think of where the highlights would be the most on the bowl. So I put this down, and then I did some black, like lightly. And then as I started doing that, I thought, well, maybe I need a darker blue, so then I added this blue. I didn't want it to be too dark. I wanted it to be but I wanted it to be a darker medium blue. And then I started blending both the black and the blue, like shading like very lightly to see like, okay, what's happening. And that's where I feel like I'm painting when I do this, because I'm not just coloring the color, like I do with some books, which I like to do. But I'm really like feeling for getting the color out. I'm using it like a paintbrush or something. I don't know. That's what's happening. And I don't always, I know I don't always like the color like that, but for some reason lately, that, I don't know, that seems to be what I want to do. So I just let myself do it. Um, Trying to find where the rest of this horse is. And what is that? Oh, that's his hip or whatever. He must be all behind. I see a foot somewhere. But it's kind of interesting. Like I there's another page in another book that's kind of like this with the animals all running toward that direction, and it's all hares, rabbits, um, and it's bigger, yeah, and I don't know, maybe this is giving me an idea of how to continue approaching that page, because that page, I look at it now and I love it, but it's so like it's so I'm not ready to work on it because there's so much going on. Um, and it's all the same animal too. So I was trying to make certain hairs the same color, like if they had kind of same line thing going on with them, I would try to make them the same color between gray brown, like so on. Oh my god, too much for my brain. Um, so let's do some coloring. I want to figure out what to do with his unidentified Kirby objects, which is what I call them. There's those things in here, and then it has the oddball things, like the, what is it, soccer ball or basketball, the card. I gotta figure out what I want to do with those. I almost started coloring the grass yesterday, but I thought, no, I'm not quite sure yet what I want to do with that. So I'm kind of staying on the animals. And I'm staying away from the birds because the birds are getting on my nerves. Oh, does that rhyme? The birds are getting on my nerves. I need to figure out what color to make him. I was thinking of making him black, but he's so close to the bull that I kind of wondered if I should do that. The lion was kind of brown, and this was kind of weird trying to do this and trying to do some things on this page because there is no real beige in this set of pencils and the Evazar London pencils, so um, everything is like really tinged with either yellow or orange. So it's kind of, I had to layer to get this color, which is kind of hard. But I was like, whatever it turns out to be, it is. What do I want him to be? Maybe I'll work on one of these instead. But they're probably brown too. I need a different color. I've never seen a black deer. That's a gazelle. So again, we're in that tan zone, and I don't have a tan. I could get a tan in a different set, but I'm trying not to do that because I don't want more pencils on the desk. What do I have here? This is kind of where we are. Unless I use this in white. I feel like doing the deer. Just going to do the deer. So something about trying to stick to this set is me thinking about how to get the color I want. So it's been kind of useful for that. That part is really white. Okay. So I need to put in my eye drops. Let me think about the deer, how much, no, not really much white on their face. I should know, I got them all over the place here, but like I don't really see them. They're out there in the woods. And hopefully they stay there. Don't let them in the road. I think, seems like it's got to be hunting season soon. So this is a Prismacolor chocolate. What's the color? What's going to happen if I use this? It's probably going to turn it some kind of weirdness. But I kind of want it to be a little warmer. Yeah, it's kind of weird that like all of a sudden I want a color like this. I don't know. It just came out, and I don't even know what to call this as. Call it after I do it. I'll come up with a name for it. But it just seems. I guess afterwards we'll see how successful it was. Decide, do we want to try this again? The funny thing is, I have not been, probably my favorite books. What's been my favorite book for the past couple of years, or colorist, is Hannah Carlson, and I haven't been in that book. I haven't colored in any Hannah Carlson book for like, I think it's been almost a year, if not a year, which is really weird. That looks like a deer, right? Maybe it's the brown come on them in their body. So I'm probably gonna, like, what time is it now? What's the time? I watch. 8:34. Okay. So my cutoff time is gonna be 9 o'clock. So I can get my act together for other stuff. And I just bought a even though I could read it online, I don't really like reading online. I don't like reading on screen. I got a book of Augustine's, St. Augustine's The City of God. And I don't even know what that's about. Like, why it's hitting me all of a sudden, and so I'm gonna read it. Things going on in my mind. So, and I wanted to get an edition that was that had commentary, academic commentary in it, and so I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm probably gonna I'm probably gonna read some of it today, because I did start reading it online, and I was like, It starts off talking about. I got to figure out the context, who Augustine is talking to, and all that. The person that it has in the beginning, his name, but it's like he's giving. It's like he's giving reasons for why certain things are happening in his contemporary, his time, And one was, like, not to be like gross or nothing, but um, he's talking about like people, I guess, are asking. It's in a situation where people are asking, well, why did Rome get sacked? Why did the Goths sack us in this one, I don't know, some situation? That was basically the fall of Rome happened. One of the reasons, one of the things that contributed to it was that they kept getting um, looted and terrorized, and like you see in the movies or whatever. Um, the Goths kept coming and you know basically raping and pillaging. That's the only way I can figure out to say it is the word for it. Um, and that kept happening. Um, that's one of the things that they said weakened Rome, was that, and caused Rome to fall. And so it's opening up with Augustine talking about, why that's happening and why it's not Christians' fault that that's happening, or something. Yeah. But he's having people asking, well, why did they rape our women, and why this and why that? Um, and there's just something about, I don't know. I had no idea that I've heard about Augustine, and I haven't really read anything by him, but um, something just made me want to do it. And so like I said, the whole thing of moving like the creature in Ezekiel. I'm like, okay, well, I feel it. I'm feeling like I'm supposed to read this, so I'm going to read it. Um, but of course, the interesting thing about Augustine is how much influence he has on um, present day political and philosophical thought. That it's underneath so many things that the average person doesn't even think about. So I guess that's one reason I want to see what parts of him seem to be something we use in society. Because even though people will say, some areas of society will say that education isn't, is nothing, whatever, they don't even realize that, like, well, there's nothing new under the sun, and everything we think and do and have built today is built on something from the past, knowledge from the past, things that scholars have like studied and thought about and came up with in the past. And it's like we just don't know now because we take it for granted that, this is just this. It's like, no, some dude some dudette a long time ago was thinking about this suddenly and started talking about this, and then it became a thing, and then it became something that was argued about, people didn't agree with, thought of other ways about it, and then the thought developed to where we put together their original thought with our thinking about that thought, and it became this thing that we do now today. And people don't think about that. They talk about knowledge and academia like it's something, I don't know. It's like we wouldn't have cell phones if it weren't for knowledge and academia. Everything's a tool. Everything on earth is a tool. You can use it for good, you can use it for evil, you can use it for good one day, and then somebody will turn it for evil. Somebody can use it for evil, and one day somebody can take it and use it for good. It's not, this black and white linear thing. It's like the individual. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? I don't know what kind of trip I'm on today, but I'm just sucking out my head because I really am I'm loopy today still. Actually, I feel more loopy today than I have the other days, but maybe that's because I wasn't talking the other days. I was smart enough to keep my mouth shut. I'm not smart enough to keep my mouth shut today. Morning, Kim. Am I making this horse gray? Why am I making him gray? The old gray mirror ain't what it used to be. Wow, it seems like what we're doing. I don't think I've never seen a gray horse. Doesn't mean they don't exist, but I've never seen a gray horse. I had a friend who used to have horses, and I was scared of them. They're just big. They're so big. They're beautiful, gorgeous creatures. I think I'd have to spend some time with one and get to know it, take care of it, and stuff, and bond with it, and then I won't be scared of it. You got to learn how to deal with horses. I don't think it's not something you just do, because they're huge. They can knock you freaking over. They're very powerful. I think one reason I was scared of the horse is because we really didn't understand each other, and he also kind of had an attitude, probably with good reason, but he kind of had an attitude. So I think he could tell that I was like, oh. And he was blind in one eye, so that didn't help. Because what I may have thought was him, being snarky with me was him not being able to see me. So, yeah, this was a very random live. I didn't even plan on coming on, so I didn't even check for. I was just like, I got a few minutes. Let me do this. I feel like coloring. Let me do this. So I just came on, and minimal click, 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 click to figure out stuff. I just was like, I'm coming on. I kind of like that. I need some white somewhere, but I don't really feel like I want to put it in right now. What time is it? Got 15 minutes. I'm gonna go get my act together. Yeah, because I think today I'm probably going to be working on a lot of work stuff, even in between my meetings. I'm probably going to just, I'm praying for like a real momentum with working on work today. Because I've been I'm asking the Lord, why am I so like not, I'm not hitting that momentum, that thing, just like when you exercise, and like you exercise for a little, a few minutes, and then all of a sudden you hit this moment where you're like, I don't want to stop, and then you just keep going and going and going. And usually it's good to exercise until you hit that point, and then hit that point and do that point, for a certain amount of time. Well, same thing goes with like my work, and I usually will hit a point where it's like, yeah, I'm there, and then everything moves better, faster, easier, and I'm whipping through. I am not. It's like I've been struggling. I've not been getting to that point, and it's really, really, really bugging me and leaving me behind. And then I get sick on top of it, and so it's like, oh, we didn't need this. So I'm really hoping to hit that zone, to start hitting that zone on the regular the next few days, so I can make up for this kind of funk that I've been in. Can I see that well? Where are my glasses? Those aren't the ones I want, but I'll use them. Yeah, if I had time, I probably would go and like ask to work on a horse farm. We have some, near me, around me, and I wouldn't mind hanging out with some horses and learning. Basically, first of all, really learning how to care for them, because they are gorgeous animals. They are just absolutely gorgeous. And I love anything with big brown eyes. If you know me, I just do. I feel like there's more I can do with them, but I don't think I can do it today. I'm not feeling the... I need to sharpen this pencil is what I need to do. I've been following these little, Kirby's lines here, which maybe that's why I've been coloring the way I have been on this page. I'm following his little hash marks, and I've been using them as a guide for the shading and stuff. It might be, I don't know, maybe that's what drew me to the page. Kind of weird. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't argue, just enjoy it. Don't analyze everything. I do have a habit of analyzing too much. Okay, that was kind of weird. Why did I do that? I don't know. Kind of wish I hadn't. Something's at the top of his face. I don't know what to do. Well, the old gray mare might not be what it used to be, but this one is balling. He's on the run. Oh, I like that. I like that better. Getting a little muddy on here, but kind of don't want to be, I don't think I need to be that concerned about it, because I'm actually, because of the background, doing the background, which I don't know what I'm going to do the background with. Oh my gosh. Go down a stony embankment? Oh my gosh, I'd be terrified. Cool. Yeah, I'd be thinking, okay, here we go. Collarbones, collarbones going on me, not the horse. We about to like flip. Oh, it's almost like pushing him towards black, but a different black than the bull. That's interesting. Okay, so we got smoke, smoke. What is this? Oh yeah, I forgot about his tail. Oh brother. Let's see this last night. We're just gonna like sneak that in there and this kind of his tail is like hairy. I don't feel like they need that. Whatever they got in there. I don't need that. I don't know how to make it look that way though. I don't like that he did that. Uh-uh. Oh well. At least it's hidden. We don't have to worry about it too much. I like the end of lions' tails. It has like that wisp of hair. Oh, that was good. Glad the rest of the ride was relaxing. Good chow. I'd be sweating bullets. What is that? Don't make me have to do this. Um, it looks like it's weird. I don't know why I always want to make his little tiny birds like this red. I always want to make them red. Ooh, what just happened to my phone? That was weird. Why did it do that? It said 10 something and then it went back to the time. I feel like my watch is on crack lately. It's doing weird stuff. Okay, what are we doing next? Let's see, an antelope. I feel like we need another color. Maybe I'll make them like reddish. Like a red antelope. Let me see if I can get an idea of one. Just not to like, try not to wing everything. Come on, computer. Go to sleep. Because then I'll have an hour to get my act in order, my appearance. I'm going to type in red antelope, a red hartebeest. Hartebeest? Oh, that a red lechwe? Oh, that's cute. Medium-sized antelope with a reddish-brown upper body and white underbelly. Oh, that's cool looking. I'm gonna make it one of those because it's kind of orangey red. I'll go over the outs. I don't know what color I'm gonna make the spots. Here's a very smooth pencil. So 5 minutes, 4 minutes. Need to get something for breakfast. That's a pretty color. Yeah, so something with these is that on this paper, it's like it's blending without giving me any, it's not, like somehow, sometimes waxy pencils really won't, go over another color well. Well, these are on this paper. Um, and which is cool. And it's leaving it looking shiny, which I like. So that's a bonus for these pencils. If you can find the 100 set, which I guess not really on Amazon or anything anymore, but that's what I have. And somebody told me there was like a 24 set of them. I don't know. Um, but like I said before, I think the colors actually, if I think I like them better than these, but obviously these are working for me for this page. And I mean, I just, you know, they are. So if you like what's happening here, then maybe these are the pencil for you. Oh, I can't see because of the glare. I want some red to take it out of the. I can't see because of the glare. It always okay. So, what's around his head? He's got some there. I'm gonna make it like the Lechway, the red Lechway. And what's a Duiker? Duiker. Oh no, I like the Lechway. Yeah, I like the well, I learned that I like using the Prismacolor in this book. I don't know. For some reason this page I decided not to. It might be because um with Prismacolors I didn't want to use them with the small coloring like this because you don't really have room to blend when you need something a little more controlled, I think, than Prismacolors, and these seem to be doing the trick because I can get a sharp point on them that will last a while. They'll blend well even without a sharp point. I don't know. Something about it seems to be working better on this page. And I think I'd be having trouble if I was using Prismacolors because of how small these images are. I'd probably be sharpening my pencil all the time, and um, yeah, I don't know. These seem to be working well. I probably could have used the Polychromos pencils, but um, I didn't want to get them out. For one, and two, this isn't something like I'm like, oh, this is my favorite page, and I kind of want to use my Polychromos on something that really is like, oh, I love this page, whatever. Um, these are Ebazar. You can't see it well. Ebazar London, and they came in a really pretty tweed zipper case. Okay, yeah, I think I got them like 2 years ago. I think. But I think I have like grown out of my, large, inexpensive pencil um, age. And I think I'm going mostly now open stock, open stock, open stock. Anything that I can get open stock is a pencil that I will get one set of and then get all my replacements and additions open stock. I like that. I'm liking that. So I have to figure out, I guess the rest of them white and tan. So I gotta try and bring this color down a little bit, which I'll probably use, I don't know, one of these I'm probably gonna use for that. Or maybe both. But they're kind of milky, so I gotta kind of use a little care with that. Okay. Oh, 9:02 already? That was quick. What, 7 minutes or something? Okay. So that's it for me for this morning. I don't know if I'm coming out again tonight. But I'm gonna that's it for now, so I can get ready for the rest of my day. Thank you for joining me on this really surprise to me morning live. And have a great rest of your day. You might see me around in some chats, some other folks' chats, or whatever, as I work through hitting that zone with work. Take care, everybody. Bye bye. Yeah, nice chatting with you, Deb. Take care. Take care, Marcia.